So my last task now is to take that symbolism I found in my book and post something on my discussion board. This can either be a brand new post. I would suggest if you go through your discussion board and you see nobody has touched on the item of symbolism that you chose, then do a brand new post. But if you see that, oh, someone else in my discussion has already brought up the same idea of symbolism that I had, maybe you decide to reply and just add to what they said already. So it can either be a brand new post or a reply, totally up to you. What I notice in House on Mango Street and what I will add to my teacher discussion around this book is that this object of makeup, black clothes, and high heels, these objects, in a way represent womanhood. They are symbolic of the maturation and the growing independence that Esperanza strives for. She sees other women in her community dressing like this in clothes that represent growing up into your late teens, early 20s, much more so representative of that than what kids might wear, right? And she sees that and she wants it. The quote that I chose here captures that. There's always someone in the movies with red, red lips who's beautiful and cruel. Her power is her own. She will not give it away. They're confident. They know exactly what they're doing. They are independent and maturing. And she longs for that. She wants that as part of her life. But at the same time, this symbolism creates a bit of an internal conflict for Esperanza because at the same time that she wants to be those women, she sees that those women are still treated cruelly by the men in the community. They are thrown demeaning marks at by these men. They are basically looked at as inferior and looked at as only serving the purposes of men rather than being independent. And so she sees the way that men treat the women and the single story around the way that men view women. And she then thinks to herself, okay, maybe I don't want this. Maybe I want to stay young and childlike and innocent instead. So this symbolism of the makeup, black clothes, and high heels and what it represents, womanhood, is something that kind of Esperanza goes back and forth on. She strives for it on one hand, but then she sees that there are some drawbacks around it. And it's a big internal conflict for her. And so that's why I ended with the question here to the rest of my colleagues, Mr. Ray Flab and Ms. Ade. How will Esperanza find her way to being a confident woman in a community where so many men have single stories connected to that gender? How can she navigate? How can she balance those two things? And so in your post, you're going to try to hit on the 4 bullet points below, point out the symbolism in your book, include some text evidence, connect it to a single story if you can, and end with a question that the rest of the discussion board can reply to. Those are the elements of your post or your reply today. Do one of those. If you want to do more than one, you're more than welcome to. Hope everyone has a great weekend. As I said before, if anyone has questions around this, please feel free to reach out anytime today. Okay? Talk soon. Thanks, everyone.